Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In today's video we talk about why I cancelled my Sega Genesis Mini pre-order. Let's get started. So the Sega Genesis Mini was announced earlier this year with a release date of September 19th, 2019 right around the corner. Now there's already reviews of the Sega Genesis Mini out there. You just have to search YouTube, type in Sega Genesis Mini review, and you will get a handful of videos. Some people got early copies of this already. Most people have been singing praises about this system. There are a couple reviews that give it an unfavorable look, but for the majority, everyone seems to be in love with everything, or at least almost everything, about this little Sega Genesis Mini. So you can see it up here on Amazon's website. This is Amazon.com for $80 US. In Canada, that runs you closer to $100. Now, if you're wondering why on earth I would have canceled my pre-order, well, there are a couple big reasons. The first reason is because there are reports out there about the sound being off. If you head over to GameSack's review on YouTube, I'll leave a link to this in the description below. You can see Joe goes over the audio delay issues that the Genesis has. On top of that, one of the controllers that was shipped to him was dead on arrival. It just flat out didn't work. Now, I mean, yes, you can say, oh, maybe it's just a quality issue with that one unit. Maybe most of them will be absolutely fine. And some people will say, hey, the audio delay is not a big deal. And this is one of the few times that I'll say, I've already got a Raspberry Pi. I know the audio on this. I can correct it. I can edit the emulator that runs the Genesis games. And the biggest thing, I'm not stuck with a 3-button controller to try to play 6-button games. I cannot tell you how frustrating it would be to try to play Street Fighter with only 3 buttons. And yes, I could just check out a Retrobit official Sega Genesis USB controller with 6 buttons here that does apparently work for the Sega Genesis Mini. But in all honesty, the main reason I canceled my Sega Genesis Mini pre-order was because of this device right here. Krikzz made this device called the Mega Everdrive. It's been out for a little bit now. This is the X3 version. And essentially what this little thing lets you do is play your ROMs, your Genesis ROMs on your Mega Drive or Genesis, whatever you own. Over here in North America, it was called the Genesis. You literally just pop them on a micro SD card, put it in here, play your Genesis, and you're off to the races. And I'm not even joking here. The original Genesis isn't that big. So this is an original Model 2. The Model 1 looks a little different, which the Genesis Mini is modeled after. But this is not big. Like if I put my hand up beside it or put my hand over the face, you can see this console is not that big. And pair that with a RetroTink, which will take this signal, throw it out to HDMI, and I can actually play my Genesis on a flat screen TV, on a new TV. Now you add the Krikzz Mega Everdrive into all of that, and it's pretty much the optimal solution. And while the solution may not be for everyone, it is a pretty dang good solution. If you've already got a Genesis, the Everdrive is going to set you back $54 for the X3 version. There's also some even better, more advanced versions of the Everdrive. And now I've just got the base X3. There are 2 other versions of the Mega Everdrive, the X5, which is a little bit better than the X3, and then the X7, which gives you pretty much everything you need. I'll leave a link to this chart in the description below so you can check it out. But for me, the X3 can pretty much do everything that I need. I'm really just looking for something to emulate games. And if you're a Genesis enthusiast and want the best of the best, then I would definitely head over to Analog and take a look at the Mega SG. In all honesty, this is probably the prime device to play Genesis games on a television. It's not cheap. If we head over to buy now, you can see the Mega SG in the States is $189.99, so $190. So it's roughly $100 more than the Sega Genesis Mini, and this is obviously not officially Sega branded. But at the same time, this is using FPGA, so it will be much closer to the actual Genesis than the Genesis Mini will be. And does that mean I think the Genesis Mini is bad? Absolutely not. So if you usually watch my videos I'm all for retro gaming. I'm all for companies that are coming out with things for retro gaming just to help bolster the community. I honestly think that there will be a lot of people who are perfectly happy with the Genesis Mini. A lot of people will probably just pick one up because it's easy and affordable. And I'm not trying to come across as a snob for saying that there are better ways to emulate the Genesis and to enjoy the Sega Genesis experience. I'm just saying that based on the current, I would say, offering, the slower sound, the fact that it comes only with 3-button controllers, it's enough of a deal breaker for me because of the other options out there. And that also doesn't necessarily mean I'm never going to pick one up. Heck, I picked up a PlayStation Classic because it was $30. Now, in terms of this, it's $100 in Canada if I want to pick it up. And to me, that's a little higher of a price than I'm willing to pay based on the other options that are out there. If this thing goes on sale and comes down a little bit in price, then it becomes suddenly more attractive. The only issue then I have is I'm going to have to purchase a 6-button controller to go along with it. And if you've already pre-ordered the Genesis and you're excited about the Genesis, it's okay. You can be excited about it. There's really no issue at all with that. Honestly, gaming comes down to everyone's own personal preferences. Just because I canceled my pre-order doesn't mean you should too. Really, you can make that call for yourself. And if you don't even agree with my decision of canceling it, that's fine too. You're allowed to disagree. But anyways, that's all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's one of those interesting things where some people have seen GameSack's video and are completely against the Genesis now. Some people have seen it but have seen other videos like I think RGT85 and I think Modern Vintage Gamer does it too. They both take a look at it and both of them really like it. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. So anyways, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Thank you, everyone. Take care.